Good morning, everyone. Today we will study potential difference, or you can say alternating potential difference applied to an inductor. This will be our today's topic. Like we studied AC voltage applied to a resistor, we will study applied to an inductor. In the circuit this time we will connect one inductor. Of that inductor, inductance is capital L, and across it we connected one AC voltage source, which you can see here. E is the instantaneous value of alternating voltage, although in the previous case we have taken capital V. So it depends up to you that whether you are taking E or V. It doesn't make difference. So it is up to you. At any instant we will consider positive sign here and negative sign here. At that instant it is sure that current from positive terminal will come out and will flow through this inductor from this side. That's why we have taken positive sign, and another side we will take minus, from where current take exit. Then this I is instantaneous value of alternating current, and instantaneous value means value of current at any instant. If you see, at any instant the value of current will change. At any instant, if you check, the value of current will be different. That means we can say continuously the value of current is changing. If this changing current enters into this inductor, then in the previous chapter we studied, and if changing current enters into an inductor, then it produces changing magnetic flux, which ultimately induces EMF in it, whose magnitude we know it is given by L di by dt. With this, one negative sign also is kept, which shows that the cause of production is opposed by the induced EMF. So we will be using the value of EMF induced across this inductor. This EMF will be induced and its value will be used as L di by dt. So this was discussion about the EMF induced in the inductor. Now let us start applying Kirchhoff's voltage rule, or you can say Kirchhoff loop rule. What Kirchhoff loop rule says? It says that sum of all the potential differences will be equal to 0 in a loop. Starting from this point, you will get first of all inductor entering on positive side. So plus potential difference across inductor, it will be equal to induced EMF. That means L di by dt. After that you move to this side and you got alternating potential difference source with negative sign. So minus V, and after that you can write equal to 0. As you can see, we reach to the same point. Now I can also write V minus L di by dt, and in the next step I can write the value of V equal to L di by dt. I can write. Then the value of V can be written like this: Vm sine omega t is equal to L di by dt. From here I will find out the value of di. The value of di will be equal to Vm upon L sine omega t dt. After this I will integrate both sides. Integration di will be equal to integration Vm upon L sine omega t dt. This side limit of time will come. For the full cycle it will be 0 to t. This side limit will be from 0 to I, that means from 0 to saturated current. Then on this side I will have I, which will be equal to Vm upon L integration of sine omega t, as we did in the previous case, will be equal to minus cos omega t upon omega, and then limit will come here. Omega can be written outside. If we write omega outside, then you will have Vm upon omega L, and after solving this bracket you will get what will you get? You will get cos 0 minus cos 2 pi. Cos 0 minus cos 2 pi. Children, instead of writing these limits, what will we do? We will solve this integration without keeping limits. So what you can say? You can say that here these limits will not come at all. Okay, here there will be no limit. Then after this we will continue with our derivation. If there will be no limits, then there will be no such bracket here at this place. And what shape it will take? It will take the shape like this: minus cos omega t. After this I is equals to Vm upon omega L, and what you can write here? You can write it equal to sine omega t minus pi by 2. This you apply, this we got after applying the law of trigonometry. Like, how can we convert cos into sine? That rule we used, as we know that cos 90 minus theta is equals to sine 90 minus theta is equals to cos theta. This relationship we used here, and we have written in bracket with sine, like you can see. Then after this, if we will focus on omega L, then we can say that omega L has dimensions as that of resistance. Therefore this omega L will work as reactance. Reactance means reactance is just like resistance. Like resistance opposes the flow of current in the circuit, in the same way reactance also opposes the flow of current in the circuit. The difference is, reactance word we use for inductor and capacitor, and resistance word we use for resistor only. So it will work as reactance, and because this was the case of inductor, it will be called particularly inductive. It will be called inductive reactance. Inductive reactance. Please bear with the writing. Okay, bear with my writing. Inductive reactance is denoted by omega L, sorry, not omega L, XL. and this XL will be equal to omega L, right? Omega L can be written as 2 pi FL, as you know that omega is equals to 2 pi F. Now here you can see that the inductive reactance has dependency on frequency directly as well as on the inductance. So if inductance or frequency, if either of them will be increased, it will ultimately increase the inductive reactance. Now if we will discuss about unit of XL, so like we studied that XL is inductive reactance and it has the dimensions as that of resistance. So we can say that its SI unit will be ohm, which is same as that of resistance and will be having the same dimensional formula, right? After this, as you got the value of instantaneous value of current, alternating current in an inductive circuit, here in this equation we can replace omega L by XL and we can write I is equals to Vm upon XL sine omega t minus pi by 2, omega t minus pi by 2. Now here you can see this Vm upon XL. Vm is voltage and XL has unit of resistance or has dimension of resistance. So you can say that if V upon R using Ohm's law we can write it equal to I, then here Vm upon XL, it could also be written equal to I, but not only I, it will be equal to Im as voltage is maximum. So we can write I is equals to Im sine omega t minus pi by 2, omega t minus pi by 2. This is your final expression for alternating current in an inductive circuit, right? After this, if I will write the equation for instantaneous value of alternating voltage, then it would be something like this: V is equals to Vm sine omega t. Now if you look here, in the case of V, we have phase omega t, and in case of I, we have phase omega t minus pi by 2. That means the phase of current is less than omega t by pi by 2. That means we can write that current lags behind by voltage. Current lags behind voltage, not by current lags behind voltage by pi by 2 radian, by pi by 2 radian. In case of resistive circuit, we have seen that there was no phase change in the values of current and voltage, both were in same phase. But here we can see the value of current and voltage are out of phase by pi by 2 radian, or you can say 90 degrees. And using equation we can write that I, that means current, lags behind V by pi by 2 radian. It means that the value of current, जो करंट की वैल्यू होगी वो वोल्टेज के पीछे पीछे चलेगी. जो भी वैल्यू आएगी वो वोल्टेज की पहले मिल जाएगी, लेकिन बाद में उसके हमें क्या मिलेगी, करंट की वैल्यू मिलेगी. और कितना बाद में मिलेगी, पाई बाई 2 रेडियन. इतना फेस चेंज होने के बाद में हमें वो वैल्यू मिलेगी. ठीक है. नाउ लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड इट विद द हेल्प ऑफ फेजर डायग्राम, सॉरी विद द हेल्प ऑफ waveform. If you draw waveform Okay, if we draw waveform, then how can we do that? Wait a minute. Okay, waveform. Yes. To draw waveform, first of all, let us draw line segments. On this line, we will show phase. On this line, we will show phase omega t, and on this line, we will show the value of current and voltage. So, suppose this graph with blue color is representing the value of voltage. You can see voltage is 0 at this place. Here it is maximum. Here again it is 0. At this place again it is maximum. At this place again it is 0. Now if I draw current at this place in the same graph where I have drawn voltage, then how will it be? Will it be like this, like I have drawn in case of resistive circuit? Then answer is no, because for these two graphs there is no phase change. But in case of I and V for inductive circuit, we have seen that there was a phase change. Value of voltage will be achieved first, and then current will achieve those values. That means the graph will be in this way particularly. Here you can see the value of voltage. The value of voltage, it is getting maximum at pi by 2, but the value of current is getting maximum at pi. That means pi by 2 एंगल बाद में, जब बाद में कवर हो जाता है, तब I की वैल्यू मैक्सिमम हो रही है. इसका मतलब I की जो वैल्यू है वो वोल्टेज के पीछे पीछे चल रही है. यहाँ देखने में ऐसा लगेगा कि करंट आगे चल रहा है, बट हो असल में क्या रहा है कि वोल्टेज आगे चल रहा है. I hope you all understood. Revise this derivation. It is very important, asked many times in the previous exams. So do all the revision and make notes properly. Till then, take care. We will meet in the next class. Thank you.